Hey, everybody, welcome to my podcast talking about everything psychology. I'm your host, Lester Gonzalez, and in this podcast, you will learn more about self improvement, personal growth, success, and how psychology plays a crucial role in our lives. That being said, for today's topic, I want to dive deeper into the psychology of leadership and understanding the mindset of leaders. So, when it comes to leadership, it's all about having teamwork, this drive of working with others, work adaptability. But what makes a good leader? Being a leader holds roles of influencing, mentoring, motivating, and guiding others toward a specific goal. The psychology of leadership is a crucial role because it involves every role in creating a sustainable and comfortable environment. Let's dive deeper into understanding the mindset of the leader and bring in these psychological factors that play a huge role. The first factor is resilience. Resilience is a key mindset when providing leadership. It's inevitable that leaders will often deal with stressful situations, and leaders must always be prepared for problems or unexpected occurrences. Leaders are often fully aware and don't panic when things don't work out the way they should. Instead, they find a way to problem solve and persevere. So failure often motivates leaders to do better and learn from their mistakes. Leaders love to learn in a way to help benefit, their own work environment. And it's important for leaders to understand the types of challenges they're exposed to and being aware of the problem they are in. And that being said, leaders will always seek growth and find resilience through every setback in front of them. The next factor I want to talk about is having ethical leadership. Ethical leaders often set a foundation in creating a strong moral and ethical work environment. Leaders will set a positive standard for their followers. This allows the leader to make ethical decisions that are often respectful, fair, and honest with the work environment. Leaders find ways in creating a team that works well within specific standards. So leaders will always express and emphasize work responsibility. This benefits their work environment to grow and often become functional. Furthermore, ethical standards create a healthy environment, providing great leadership and guidance in the long run. This is one important crucial factor I want to talk about when it comes to leadership, and it's having the ability to navigate and adapt. So one thing leaders have that separate themselves from others is the ability to navigate, right? So leaders often look ahead of time and navigate specific problems they are going through. They have the ability in finding ways to cope and address, these conflicts. And what leaders do differently is navigate and analyze the situations they're in and begin processing these solutions. Leaders navigate often by, if you've heard the term before, reading the room. This allows the leaders to take specific actions while understanding the situation they are currently in. A leader's ability to navigate allows them to look ahead and take action responsibly. Leaders will be the first step of initiation if you think about it, because when people look up to someone, that's what the leader must do. And when leaders adapt to unexpected challenges, they find ways to navigate and strategize. So that being said, leaders must be able to navigate and have the adaptability in order to become successful, a true leader. And, often the next factor would come from having effective communication skills. A good leader will communicate very effectively. This allows the leader to be more driven in a workplace standard. So leaders who communicate effectively will find it easier to team build and develop a positive work environment for everyone. So leadership also brings influence and guidance for their team. Keep in mind, though, that everyone communicates differently. And with leadership, it's important to have good listening skills while communicating with respect. Leaders often have to adapt with different personalities and cultural backgrounds. Trust me, I remember working or interning as a human resource manager at a nursing home and being able to work and adapt with a variety of nursing assistants and nurses. Everyone has ways of adapting to things, so it was our job to listen to them carefully and making sure we're solving their problems with communicating respectfully. But, showcasing respect when communicating should always be number one when it comes to being a leader. My favorite point and my favorite topic or factor of being a leader is the ability to motivate and influence others. As a leader, that's something you often strive to do, right? And effective leaders must understand the type of motivation and influence they bring to their followers. Leaders should understand their followers' needs while also putting themselves in their shoes. Effective leaders have this thing called empathy, right? So you must understand, by putting yourself in your followers' shoes, you help yourself in understanding them and their situation of what they're going through and how you would solve that problem for them. And leaders set goals. They set goals, they mentor, they reward, and guide their followers to their needs. A leader must express the specific success they want for their followers to put their followers in the right path. Leaders are what followers look up to. Leaders are what drive followers to seek help. Leaders are what followers feel inspired and motivated for. A great leader should always provide mentorship, motivation, and influence when guiding followers toward their fullest potential. The next factor of leadership would go to, or the topic of seeking growth. So effective leaders will always seek growth within themselves. An example would be leaders who seek feedback from their followers. This allows the leaders to, improve themselves and improve their leadership style and gain more skill. One thing I always keep in mind when it comes to the idea of leadership is that a leader should never act as a dictator. Leaders should be seen as a teammate. This will allow leaders to grow along their followers, forming greater relationships, teamwork, respect, and functionality. Their followers should never feel controlled, rather feel more guided and getting the help they need. Furthermore, being a leader is all about growth around themselves and the community built around you. Being a team player, being someone who is guiding but also working together is what makes a great leader. That's something we must keep in mind, because you have a leader and then you have a boss, right? Those are two different mindsets when it comes to, leadership. See, a leadership is someone who works with their followers, does everything they can to make everything stable, while there's a boss that will just tell their followers what to do and not help them, acting like they're in control, which they are, don't get me wrong, but that's where my point of leaders should never act like a dictator, otherwise the lack of respect within your followers will happen. So overall, the psychology of leadership allows leaders to understand themselves and their followers. Leadership requires many skills when helping others and creating a functional and comfortable environment for all. And a leader must always be there for their followers and do everything they will to inspire them toward their goals. And leadership requires behavior that brings value. Value to your followers is everything when it comes to leadership, because the value you bring will make everything beneficial for not only you, but your company and your workers and followers around you. You have to create a positive environment, otherwise things might go downhill and there will be a lack of trust, respect, and companionship within the work environment. So that is all I have for you guys today about the psychology of leadership. I just want to thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. For more psychology content, stay tuned on this podcast and make sure to leave a like, follow, and or subscribe. whatever platform I put this podcast in, but it will really help me out as I love speaking out my knowledge and mentorship about psychology with all of you. And that being said, I look forward to growing with all of you on this channel, and I wish you all a blessed day.